Alan is going to talk to us now. He's BRAC, Business Requirements as Code. That's your own made-up acronym, right?
No, man, everything's as code these days. Business requirements, right?
So Alan's going to be talking to us about Jupyter Notebook platform integrating into the AWS Marketplace. Over to Alan.
All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you very much. This is kind of a follow-on. This is rather a follow-on from a presentation I did here about 2.5 years ago, an introduction to the marketplace. Was anybody actually there for that presentation? Hey, look at that. We've got some good supporters from the whole 7 year. Fantastic. So this is a little bit tongue-in-cheek around exactly what a business requirement is, obviously. So I guess we'll start off with how many BAs do we have in the room? 1, 2, 3, 4. See, as soon as I put business requirement in there, it acts like a pheromone to a business analyst. Yeah. So what we're actually going to be talking about here is Amazon's new product called Marketplace Product Support Connection. Everyone see that? And what we've got here is this really awesome environment called Jupyter. So do we have any data scientists? Yeah, 1 or 2. You've heard of Jupyter? And any educators, academia? So Jupyter is a really awesome platform. It's all around collaboration in large-scale environments. It's got a whole range of different backends that it supports. We're mostly talking about Python here. We can see that that's the Python backend. We have backends for R, backends for Bash, all kinds of programming language and whatever. So what it basically does is an interactive environment with a combination of Markdown and then the application language all put into a slideshow that's both interactive and massively editable. So you can have data scientists, business people, and application developers all in different areas of the world, all looking at the same Jupyter style environment, and it's real-time editing, update, all sorts of things. So you can be having a data scientist talking about what kind of models we want to run out of Python pandas, and the application developer assuring that they can massage the data from all the extracts into the right thing, and the business person talking about D3 and how they want all the graphs and charts to go all in a collaborative style environment. So the data scientists really love it, and also academics, because what we actually have here is these notebooks that provide the basis of lesson plans and the such like. But not only that, there's a whole bunch of extension frameworks for Jupyter, and so there's all sorts of things available for you to students to submit a Jupyter Notebook into a system which will automatically do marking and all these kinds of things. So there's quite a lot of interest in Harvard and a lot of American universities for running entire training courses and the things around that particular platform. So the reason that we're doing that here tonight is because Jupyter's got lots of Python support, so we're going to talk about Python Boto. Familiar with the Python Boto libraries? Developers, how many application developers do we have in the room? Right, are you all Pythonistas? Or are there a few sad Node.js people here? That's right, Elliot at the back crying. So all the software that we've actually got here is available through my Linux distribution and all that kind of thing as well. So we have a device package for this kind of stuff. That's what we're doing here. We've got the local Jupyter server running, and that's what we're actually running up through here. Oh, anyone, any questions, just interject on the way through. It's quite fast paced, so put a hand up or whatever, call out. Here you go. So what we've actually got here, this new AWS Marketplace Product Support Connection. I keep on updating this all of the time. So this is supposed to be going live before. Miraculously in time for this, I just got an email this afternoon saying that everything has actually gone live today. So what we're actually going to show you here is the documentation, what you've got to do to conform to it, and they've got a test sandbox available. So what we've actually done is run up and set the stuff up in the test sandbox. Just be able to run up the exact same thing with a couple of quick changes to go live. Dragging live with our production system today or tomorrow, go live product. And so what we have here is a fairly classic sort of thing here where someone's put some business requirements together out of Amazon. We've got 11 pages worth of PDF document, right? We have to scroll down all through these 11 pages saying what's going on. So in a nutshell, what Product Support Connect is it allows an opt-in for when people spin up your images out of Marketplace so that the vendor can then provide support and the such like. And so that opt-in gives the vendor access to your email address and a few other features. I've previously been to the other presentation, I would have shown you exactly the total lack of information that we get as vendors to touch clients and customers. And so what this is actually going to do is allow us to the sales channel and actually actively market to those people. So it just turned out to be a huge issue for Amazon to finally get act together and do this because they've all got terms and conditions around all of this sort of thing and what data, privacy, whatever, what details they can expose from the client account that's spinning up your images and all that kind of thing. And there's some to address that as an opt-in. We finally get an opportunity to reach, touch sellers and try and upsell them our product. And so what we've got here in this document is basically the internal mechanisms from Amazon to actually go make that happen. And if we scroll through this, we finally come up with a bunch of requirements. And what steps you've actually got to go through to the program. You've got to do with your Amazon infrastructure to actually through it. I have some examples about all of that kind of thing. So that's kind of the deal. Business analyst or product manager is going to come along to some developer or person in the organization to go, how do we finally get this stuff on board for our Amazon account? Well, obviously, there's way too many details for your average business analyst to actually go figure this stuff out for and by themselves. So, the process. So what do we do around this in Python Photo? So we're going to set up an AWS Connection here. We go through and have a few variables, some details that aren't obvious in the document. So they rolled out this Marketplace PSC API across all regions to be a complete lie. Might have changed now, but it's back to business as usual where everything happens out of US East 1, kind of the first AWS center. We put in our various account details or whatever, we go set up our photo session. So what we've actually got going on here again is stuff about Jupyter. We've actually gone through and we've run up this Python code in our application here, to type it out or anything like that. So now we want to instantiate some services. So from that document, it said we've got to go and do a range of things. So we need to set up an S3 bucket, to set up some management, to set up some application queue stuff. We've done here, we've set up some variables where about stuff we defined earlier that was easy to change, all that sort of thing in terms of application development. More marketplace variables and things here. Set up more variables. Again, we're running them all up. Python interpreter here has got all of these values in Jupyter and stuff. So we actually go and set up buckets. we've actually got here is when we actually run this code, actually go and put out the details from our Python form here. You see we've got a bunch of buckets, Bastion Linux, Linux US East 1, US West 1. We've got a bucket here called Marketplace PSC, the bucket that we actually asked it to create. Very weird. It's got a bucket name. Through we ran this stuff up. We've gone through, we've gone and created that bucket there. That was actually quite cool to actually create that out of our Amazon account for real time. You then have to go and create an access policy. We've done that. We have to go create a role. There's all of the roles we currently have, I think. Time we go through, we see somewhere in there the marketplace role. Okay, so here's all the role names we have. CloudWatch role, we created this marketplace PSC role. There's a couple of other roles already there in existence. There's all the real time using Python Photo APIs to go about doing all of this stuff. It's not there, we create it. From there, to go and create a policy. Here's all the policies that we actually have here. This marketplace exports policy to give some features, the ability to actually export into our S3 buckets, part of the documentation setup to do in order to analytics program as per their 11-page PDF document. What we're doing is summarized here, all in like 10 easy steps. Okay, so now we actually have to go through and create an topic thing as well. The whole idea is that when actually someone spins up our image, an S event is going to come through saying you can now go to an S3 bucket, and that's where all of the details of that client actually is. We've gone to distill all of that out of the document that they've got. And again, we've got a combination of code and markups. Actually annotate to ourselves what we're doing and why. If we pick this up again in the future, it's easy enough to do. And at this kind of moment, we actually had to do that. They said, here's a test sandpit, and hopefully we're live Q4. Okay, Q4 comes along 3 months later. What are we going to do? Pick it all up. It's all annotated. We know exactly where we are. We go through and look at it again. So it's much better than a dead document to go through and reactivate and such. We've got this last one. This last one is the important part, because once we actually go and do this, where we actually go and register that we're ready and available to go and accept all of these registrations. When someone spins up one of our images, it's going to kick this whole thing off. So we have to go and put the date and time in, bucket, the S3 prefix, the topic that it's all going for. So once we go and make this call, that's when Amazon start dropping into our S3 bucket account more details. You can collect them and use them in their own marketing campaigns, run them in a normal sales process of our choice. So let's go see if it worked then. So as I say, what it's all doing is putting stuff in 3 buckets. So we're doing something similar here, you might have noticed. We're actually resources directory here. Previously we were using sessions, different ways to use photo. Okay, so we've gone through here. Here's our bucket, our marketplace PSC bucket. see if we actually go and list the items that are in that bucket. It's got all of that stuff there. And we can see a couple of dates here pretty close to where we are now. So now we can go through, see these all got the various custom contacts, data items from our little test sample. So if we go look at one of those bucket entries, get that. So here's what we've got. We've got the CSV file, product ID, product code, a bunch of things, description, name, surname, telephone number, zip code, email address. So we've now got a variety of ways finally to actually go and touch the client, customer who's opted into our product sales support connection. We can now finally try and upsell something to a client out of Amazon Marketplace. This is like 4 years later, finally got a business channel where we might actually be able to do some business.
Would it not have been easier for them to just create a one-page form where you fill in these details and you press submit and you're done?
Well, all that's happening on their end, when you actually spin up an image and do like that fast mode, things like that, it's just one tick box going. You allow us to send your details to the vendor of this product. Yeah. So again, like Amazon have got so many issues around all of their legal and all of that. The big problem with everything they do at Amazon is it's all based upon that Amazon store, Amazon.com. So they use that model. It's basically the same legal team to go and tell the web services guys what a product is. So the digital stuff is completely constrained by what their lawyers think about the product in the main Amazon market and the main Amazon.com. All right, so that's basically what you've got to do to get on and finally commercialize stuff in the Amazon Marketplace. As I say, this actually went live today. It's pretty awesome because they said it was actually supposed to go live in Q4, and I was pretty skeptical, so it's gone live well into just the middle of Q4, not even like Q2 next year, so they're actually meeting their rollout targets and all that as well.
So is it less painful now than it used to be before?
Well, it's not about pain. Before, all that happens is that you can get daily and weekly reports, which is basically an Excel file that comes down. It tells you the numbers of images being run, where they're being run, which region. It will tell you the account ID of the client that's running it and nothing else. So you can't touch that client anything. That's just structure. So all you're really seeing is market penetration, which regions people are consuming your product and no ability to touch them.
So what sort of models do you see on the agenda? You mentioned see things like
That's right. So that's what Amazon's data around selling, because they figure that they've got the charging model and only available for US-based domiciled accounts. You can't actually charge additionally above that unless you've got corporate structure in the States. But then that's a really, really dangerous thing as well. What's going to happen is that Amazon knows exactly how much your business is earning. So its product catalog to decide what to produce next. It's going to pick it up and just give you an environment. Platforms keep everything to 0 and Amazon don't get that kind of marketing. Is that about the value of what your product is? Penetration need to be considered and turn around trying to do an Amazon platform.
Was he in the presentation, the Q&A?
That's right.
Yes. Sorry. Sorry, I wasn't sure you got the end because it wasn't like a slide deck. I was like, So sorry, have we got any more questions for Alan?
That's right. So pandas as well implemented in Jupyter. So just you saw all of these pages, right, where we're doing. So import photo 3, right? You just import all the pandas library, all the scikit, all that kind of thing. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, so this is the server side of things. So we've got it running, and that whole server thing is totally clustered across. See the clusters tab and all that. So there's additional features into Jupyter that allow these to be clustered environments. But again, it's all going to be running on one memory footprint. So if you've got a big data environment, you won't actually be putting it in that style of thing. You're doing encoding Hadoop and running a HD, thing like that, right? So the same way that importing photo libraries or pandas or whatever, you'll import the HDFS, or you'll get pandas to do the connection, the data store, whatever, Elasticsearch, all those kind of things in the library environment.
Any other questions for anybody? Sure. Okay, all right, I think that's it. Thank you very much, Alan. Thank you. All right, guys, just to let you know as well, so next month we won't be here. We're going to do a panel on reInvent. We've got a few people that are actually going to reInvent. They're going to come along, talk about the announcement. I don't know what they are yet. George wouldn't either. And that's going to be, I'll send out an email with the announcement where that's actually going to be, but it'll be down near Central Station. So thank you everyone for coming, and see you all next month. Thanks, guys.